So once resource group is created, then we are coming on the point for our precise way. We are coming on the point like how services is going to be created and what are the things we need to take care. So once our resource group is created, now we are planning to implement here. Now shopping start. Now whatever the your requirement, you are going to just pick your things. Means based on your project requirement, you are going to pick all those things. So first, as yesterday I mentioned, like first we need to create app services. So we need to just go create here, starting from here, and here we can create the web app, and web app nothing but it's a app services. There is a one way we can create, or if you want to, no, I don't want to go there. So you can come here like app services part and you can start creating. And from there, you can define which resource group you want to create. So when we are going to create the app services, then we need to provide these are the basic details. So right now we have created resource group. So each resource, whatever resource we are planning to implement here, first we need to put into the logical structure. So either if we are directly coming on the app services part or any resources, if we want to create here, then we can create a new resource group, and after that we can assign. Or if we are if you are already created, then you can go to and create this resource group. And then once that one is created, now we can choose our app services name. So our app services name is shopping demo QA. So this name, when we are going to plan to implement, like when this resource is created, then ultimately it will going to give you the URL to browse your application. So whatever prefix name you have provided here, and after that it is by default DNS is providing you for your Azure website.net. So if you want to implement the DNS part, how it is going to be implemented, then in that scenario there is separate session for that. So for that we are going to implement the DNS. So based on that, we can implement our own DNS name there, and we can put redirect to this particular URL to on that particular DNS. So that configuration we are going to later, but for our demo purpose, we are planning to implement here. And now here is that part, like how we are going to publish the code. Like we are going to publish as a code or as a Docker container. So if we are planning to implement that Docker container, like your image is created and after that you want to push that image into your app services and directly from there it is going to be worked. So based on that we can choose, but for now we are going to choose our code because we have already some demo code is there. And now for runtime stack. So runtime stack is like which type of code we are planning to implement here. Like we are implemented for .NET code, Java code, Node code, PHP, Python, Ruby. So these many language is going to be supported by app services. So if you have some other than this language, then we need to go to some other way. Either we can go with the Docker container, and from there we can choose our own application, because in Docker we on high level we have more control on the OS and the images and build part. But in this code scenario, whatever the stack we are going to choose, technology stack we are going to choose, then we are going to choose that one. So for our right now, for our demo purpose or anything, right now we are going to choose for .NET Core. And there we are going to choose Windows or Linux. So we are going to choose for Windows for based on our requirement. Now, once you have created your app, your runtime like what technology stack you are going to execute it, then you are going to create the choose operating system, and you can choose here like region, simple, Central India. We are going to choose Central India, and we are going to choose here plan. So if now this one is the most important part, I'm going to explain you. So when you are going to choose all these things, then how Azure is going to be behave, like how Azure is going internally. So it's nothing but when we are going to choose all those things, I can tell you, then it is internally, it is going to be create a one server for you. And in that server, they are going to create all those things. So server, nothing but I can tell like one server, one system they are going to create for you. And in that system, they are going to put everything. They are going to put OS for us. They are going to put uh, like operating system and technology stack, whatever we are going to use. And they are also going to use here like what are the size we required, and third part, we have limited control, we cannot use as a system. So when we are planning to host our application, then you know, like in case of Windows, we are going to install IIS, or we need to install in Linux based, we need to install Linux server, Apache, Tomcat, and based on that, we are going to implement our application. So for if we are planning to implement here like Windows system, if we are planning to implement here like Windows system, then they are going to give you all those things, like to install everything, IIS is installed, and root folder is created, and after that everything is going to be created for you, and they are going to give you all those details, and they are reserved for your application. But on top of that, they are giving you nice UI, and how that UI going to be look like. On top of that, Microsoft providing us a top good UI. So how that UI is going to be look like, I'm going to tell you. Like once that one is going to be created, so right now nothing but they are going to all these things. They are going to create all those things. They are going to create a server for us, and after that they are going to install IIS. If we are going to choose here Linux, then automatically they are going to install Tomcat or Apache server there, and after that they are providing us the root folder there. Now it is coming on the plan. So plan based on region, whatever region we are going to choose. So if we are going to create the new app services plan, then we can choose. Otherwise, if we have already one app services plan is available, so we are going to use that one. And we are going to choose the size, whatever size is implemented, that one is the size. So if we are going to choose the, like if we are going to create a new plan, some I'm just naming. So if we are going to choose here the naming, then you can see the size. And this size is provide you that what are the our CPU, how big our application, how complex, or I can tell you like how input output writing everything. So you can choose like all these series, S1 series, P1, V1 series. So all those things. So if we are planning to implement for production, then we can choose your production. And if we are planning for dev test, then this one is the we are going to for dev test. And right now, if we are going to choose for uh, free one, then we can use this particular subscription, and it is only available for you for 60 minutes per day. So your application going to be up only for 1 hour, and memory they are going to use 1 GB. And if we are going to on higher plan, then you can tell, you can see here like all those details. So other series details, you can see all those based on price and based on your budget, you can choose. And uh, so these are the configuration. And apart from that, when we are going to choose the subscription, you can see what are the extra advantage, extra included feature they are going to give us. So if we are planning to go for production, and if we are going to plan for this high level, then you can see for production, whatever the stuff it is going to be providing for you. It is custom domain SSL, auto scaling, staging slot, daily backup, traffic manager, Azure compute unit, memory, and storage. So all those things going to be provided to you when we are going to use for production on high level. And in that case, it is going to charge you approximately 68,265.77 estimated. Sometime it happen like based on our requirement or based on our usage, it is going to be reduced or it will going to be high. So these are the features. So based on our requirement, like in which application we are planning to implement, and what are the things we are going to be implement, based on that we can choose our required things. But one thing I can suggest you in real life scenario, don't go directly on the higher version. So suppose you are planning to implement application, and there you are planning to start your application, then at least go with the middle version and see how application going to be performed. And based on that, you are going to choose your higher version or lower version. So after 1 month, you can track your performance of your application. And after that, you can choose, okay, what are things going to be. And here is the isolated. So isolated, nothing but it's a private cloud. And it is separate unit or separate entity. That one is going to be created for you. So generally, on high level, I can tell you, isolated is nothing but it's a on premises. And how they are going to make for on premises, there is based on network and everything. See, in the isolated network, they are going to create a separate entity or separate network for us. And from there, we are going to tell like that one is the isolated environment. So how you are going to choose the plan? So right now we are coming for our lab purpose, then we are going to choose free. But in real life scenario, you can first understand, okay, what are the intent user for us? So suppose we are going to plan an application that user only fill their timesheet details. In that case, that application is only applicable for inside the organization, not outside the organization. If a people who is outsider, they cannot fill the timesheet. Or sometime it happen like organization want to show their security stuff, like some basic security things. In big organization, they want to show something, what are the security measure they are going to be take care, but that one is only applicable inside their premises. In that case, we can choose isolated environment. So I'm going to put you one example. Please let me know, like if you are in this situation, then which things you are going to be implemented, like isolated or production or dev or test. So suppose my organization want to implement a site, there we want to showcase health and safety related stuff. So what, according to you, what you choose, which version you are going to be? We are going to select isolated environment, and from there we are going to implement based on our requirement. We are going to implement all those things. So once we are putting all those basic details, we are coming on the deployment part, and for now we are going to just review and create. And once that one is created, it is going to be available for us. So now we are coming on the part like yesterday we have already uh, requested you guys to come up with that Azure DevOps account. Curriculum part, we are going to focus, we are going to tell you like how it is already implemented, all those things, and how it is going to be worked. So I can tell you, just resource group I have created for our demo purpose, that one is D. And here you can see whatever resource is highlighted here, the app services, application insight, and SQL. And all those resources I have created in similar fashion. We have created for app services, similar we can implement it for application insight and for database as well. So now we are coming on a point where we as a developer, we are coming on a organization, we are doing the development, and our uh, platform is ready. Platform is ready means like our Azure platform is ready, everything is ready, database is ready, app services is ready, and logging tracks is ready. Now, how it is going to be implemented with the DevOps part? Like if I'm going to commit here the latest changes, automatically it is going to be push my changes to the GitHub account and Azure DevOps, and from there automatically pipeline going to be executed. And once pipeline is done, then it is automatically going to push that changes into the app services plan. Or if some database related changes, then it is going to be pushed on the database. And if some changes related to the application inside, then it is going to be. So I'm going to tell you like how it is going to be worked in real life scenario. So here, this one is the my Azure DevOps. That one is you have seen. This one you have seen like Azure account, and this one is the Azure DevOps part. So in Azure DevOps, there is quite a few things. Like first you need to create that project. So how you are going to create the project? You can just create from here. So I have created in similar way. And now the part is one is coming here, the board, and here is the repository, and here is the all those thing and stuff. And the part is most important part. We are going to tell you the repository part. So when we are going to browse the repository, because board part we are going to mainly focus for our work, to manage our work. For that purpose, we are going to explain you details on the later session, later classes, how it is going to be. But for now, we are going to focus on repository. So repository, like I'm going to quickly open that Visual Studio, and see, right now I have cloned my repository in my local system, and from there and how it is going to be cloned, everything I'm going to explain you details. So for cloning, nothing but you can directly, like when you are going to open your project, then there that option it is giving you. So for now, everything is cloning part is done. So for now, you can tell here like this one is the GitHub, Azure DevOps GitHub repository. And GitHub is nothing but it's a code repository where we are managing the branching structure, like how it is development is going on and everything. And we are going to take that latest one in our development system. And when we are going to commit here changes, then automatically it is going to be push. Like once we are going to change the commit and we are going to push our changes. So via this, like if you want to pull, then we are going to pull from the GitHub. And if you want to push your changes, then automatically it is going to be push your changes to that Azure DevOps part. And once your changes is going to be pushed, then the journey is started, and that one is the pipeline part. So in this pipeline, what happen, like it is going to be built for you. Whatever stuff we are going to be ready, like right now in our scenario, we are going to use for .NET application, but similar you can choose here, like for Java, if your application is Java. So we are going to use Maven for that. So see, Maven, we are going to use Maven, build, test, deploy, everything. So for in similar scenario, we are going to implement here like pipeline. And in pipeline part, we are going to implement like basic things, like what are the, if any .NET application or any application, if we are going to publish there, to make a ready to publish it, then first we need to, whatever the content or classes, I can say like master classes they are going to capture, first we need to restore, then build, then publish. And for now we are going to remove this thing, because we are not going to use right now AR template. And once that one is done, we are going to publish it. And how you are going to create, like as if you are, so I'm going to just save that one. How you are going to, as a new, if you are in new, then you need to come on the pipeline part, pipeline, and you are coming on the new pipeline. And from there, either we can go for YML, but for quickly our learning purpose, we are going for classic editor, because it's give you the nice UI. And from there, you can plan your project, your repository, and your branches, whatever branch you want to configure, and then continue. And from there, you are going to configure all those things. So I'm not going to details, because these details we are going to cover more in our session. So today we are going to focus mainly on that what we have already built, so that so because our course curriculum name it like Azure DevOps and Azure Admin. So this one is the DevOps area. So when we are going to publish our changes, it is automatically going to build our stuff. And once build part is done, then it is coming to push that changes. To push that changes in where? We need to push that changes in Azure App Services. And that app services we are planning here, like to push those changes here. So here you can see, here is that app services part. So whatever stuff we have created there, we can just implement there. So if you want to push that changes, so you can directly deploy your part here, deploy, or you can type here the app services, then it will give you all those details. See, here you can see deploy app services part. So you can add there and you can fill all those basic details, then automatically it is going to be give you that app services part. So once that one is done, we need to fill the basic part. Like once your build part is ready, then from there we can manage here like what we are planning to implement, what we are planning to uh, push that changes. You can just configure, and that one is manual required. So right now it's already configured for us. And similar fashion, if we want to transform the file and everything, then we are going to plan that one. So in later part, we are going to do all this stuff. So for now, for our POC purpose, we are planning to push those changes. So this way we are going to configure our pipeline. And pipeline, like in real life scenario, you can see multiple pipeline. One is for development, and similar you can implement uh, one for QA or test environment, and you can name here like something QA, and inside that you can name all those things. What are the resources we are going to plan there, and everything we are going to trigger. And the important part, like from this configuration, you can start continuous implementation, like continuous build. So automatically it will going to be push your changes to this repository. So quickly, like when we have started our journey, like a journey, I can tell like our after demo, then on I'm coming on like for application insight, SQL DB, and our this particular things like app services plan. So one thing you can see here, like see, this one is the application insight. So how I have done come here. I can tell you, like once application insight is there and I've configured in my code, then you can come application insight in this way. And from there, you can see what are the beautiful part is like you can live metrics. So if we are going to do the request right now, you can see application is going to be nothing, but it is going to be similar in a steady state. And now we are planning to implement here like, see, if I'm going to click here some home, so let's see, automatically it is going to be hitted. So it seems your request is going on the live basis. If something going wrong, if I'm going to put something wrong here, so suppose I'm going to put in exception, so where I can put it is throwing exception. Let me pick this one. So I'm going to see some exception is through here. And right now we are coming here and we can see this exception is thrown by purposefully from my system, and you can see here the request is going to be failed. And if we can see why request is going to be failed, then all those detail you can easily track it. So see what is the potential here. So if you can go on that details, on that details, it is going to be tracked for you. And similar way, whatever request it is going to be successful. So you can easily track it out here, like how it is going to be and how it is going to work. So for log purpose, I'm quickly going to show you like if something going to be fail, how easily you can easily track it out. Okay, see, these are the 500 requests, these are the this many requests we are getting. So if you are going to go details, then you can understand, okay, this particular twitter.php image is missing. And if you can see all those details, like which location it is throwing that error, like asset API, and after that Twitter and everything. So in more details, because this one itself cover a big session for that. So on high level, I have just showcased you. And if that one is completed, so if we are coming to login part, then we can quickly just register ourselves, and we are just putting that login. See, the database is also going to be used. So how database is going to be used, everything we are going to cover in upcoming session. So hope you guys enjoy this thing, because I know it is very less time to cover all these things, but in on high level, I tell you, like we have used Azure admin part, how it is going to be created app services and how it is going to be worked, and in the Azure DevOps, like how automatically we are going to code our changes and we are going to push our changes, and after that, once we have pushed our changes, automatically deployed our changes, then how it is going to be.